This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
What is going on, everyone? Y'all haven't seen us in quite a while, but it is me and the handsome man himself, Harley Dugan. Bro, what has going on? It's been a minute.
It's been quite some time, actually. Now that we're not really don't have our own entity for our podcast as of the moment. Definitely, we got something in the works that is brewing, but for right now, no, not really a podcast for us. So we just randomly do some live streams here and there. Appreciate everyone already popping in. How's everyone doing? Hope y'all having a fantastic. What is this? A Wednesday? Beautiful Wednesday today. Little rain, but don't hurt nobody.
And ladies and gentlemen, before we get into it, this episode was brought to you and powered by BetUS. We have some words from Mr. Michael Vick.
Michael Vick at BetUS. 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, plus 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS, my online sportsbook and casino.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you take advantage of that 125% bonus deposit on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. Harley, these Houston Texans, their 2 preseason games in the book. They had a loss against the Chicago Bears and then follow that up with a very strong showing Friday night against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I always say this, if you are upset about a preseason loss, if you are overconfident about a preseason win, you have to pump the brakes. However, there are a few storylines that we have to take a look at. First of all, Harley, how is the lead, man? I know you're close to 10K. What's going on, there in the channel?
Yeah, we are close to 10K. Was hoping to get to it before at least at week 1 of the regular season. Right now we are at 9.26K. So we're under 800 away. I mean, appreciate everybody that has, liked, commented, and subscribed and did their thing and has met myself and you at training camp. We wouldn't be here without y'all guys. So we appreciate all of the love that we get from y'all. Again, under 800 for 10,000 subscribers. It's a great milestone. About 4.5 years of doing this YouTube thing. So it feels pretty good to get almost 10K under the belt.
Hell yeah, man. We're now considered the OGs. Everyone,
Crazy.
is young. And like Panda said, we love y'all. We love you guys as well. Y'all mean the absolute well to us. But the excitement is at an all-time high, Harley. And, I'm at that point of the preseason now where we're all at that point where we're just over with it. We want to get to week 1 against Indianapolis. However, I have been paying close attention to these past 2 games like I've, never had before, because when you have Super Bowl aspirations, it needs all 53 men to get there. One of the storylines that has been popping recently, Harley, is third-year running back Dameon Pierce. Now, earlier today, Bleacher Report dropped an article, a player that every team should put on the trade market. And for the Houston Texans, it was number 31. What are your thoughts on Dameon Pierce's performance on Friday night and the, not the rumblings, but the fan base wants to see Cam Akers in that backup row spot? Like, it's known now. What are your thoughts on that situation?
I mean, I have a video brewing. It will be uploaded tomorrow morning about the running back 2 spot. But ultimately, from what we saw in Pittsburgh, there wasn't anything we saw. Dameon Pierce didn't look good, just to put it quite simple. And I think, as much as you're right about this fan base wanting Cam Akers, I think at the same time, this fan base really wanted Dameon Pierce to work.
Absolutely.
He's a fantastic dude. I mean, and unfortunately, good dudes just, sometimes don't land on the roster. It's all about business at the end of the day. It's all about getting production. And just from what I'm seeing in the Pittsburgh game, I mean, I'm looking, and I didn't get to see the game, but I, went back and looked through some of the highlights and some of I recorded it, so I got to rewatch it. And looking through Twitter and seeing his 4 runs, and the very first one immediately told me Dameon Pierce is not ready to be in this scheme whatsoever. Because the very first run, yes, the easy answer for everyone is, oh, he needs to bounce it outside. What Dameon Pierce did was make the right decision. The problem is implementing that decision, because he can't land the foot. He cannot land, he cannot plant his foot and cut. He takes too many steps. And he took too many steps. He gets right behind our offensive lineman's ass, and then it's all hell after that. Because we've seen this many times. He made the right decision. It's to cut back. He had an alleyway, great block by Kenyon Green up ahead. Great block. I'm telling you, man, this Houston Texans offensive line, we finally got to see it healthy in training camp these last 2 days. And from what we're hearing from media guys, like, this offensive line looks pretty legit. And this is the first time it's fully healthy. It's the first time it's at full go for CJ Stroud. And we saw what he did last year with a busted, patched up offensive line. Imagine when it's fully healthy, and then add the other weapons and add everything else that comes with it. It's a lot of fun to keep going into. But overall, Dameon Pierce, I'm just not sold, man. I'm not. You might as well just pack him to the Dallas Cowboys. That feels like the worst kept in the world. Go ahead, throw him to the Dallas Cowboys for a 6th or 7th round pick and call it a day.
So you're done with Dameon Pierce as a Houston Texan?
I mean, unless he just shows in the next game, somehow, some way, he shows the ability to plant his foot, plus make the right decision and not take the unnecessary steps, then, I mean, there's not much from what we see. Cam Akers is a guy that fits this scheme. There's nothing else to say about it. Not that Cam Akers is exponentially better than Dameon Pierce. Maybe Pierce is better than Cam Akers, but in a different scheme. I just don't think this scheme works for Dameon Pierce. I would love for him to work. We loved him his rookie year. He's a fantastic interview, fantastic personality. He's hilarious. But, man, it is tough to watch him run in that Steelers game, and it was only 4 attempts.
939 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4.3 yards a carry in 2022. You could argue Dameon Pierce was the heartbeat for the Houston Texans that David Culley season.
Yes.
And 2023, 416 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'm sorry, Lovie Smith. But just a horrible year 2 for DP. And what DeMeco Ryans hardly told the rookies a couple of weeks ago, we're not going to wait for you. It's been like stuck in my mind the entire training camp. And I not only have this for the rookies, I have this for the other players as well. We're not going to wait on you to get ready for Indianapolis week 1. And what Dameon Pierce, every single running back has had a more successful run than him. Xavier Hutchinson has had a more successful run than him. Even Steven Sims. And I said this the other day, the first 2 drives of the Houston Texans starters reminded me exactly of all last season. Without multiple offensive linemen, without no help from the run game, you got into the end zone, you got a touchdown because of the arm of CJ Stroud. And we have yet to see how dangerous this offense could be. And when you see Cam Akers, it just looks better. Like you said, it's not like it's exponentially better, but it's not 1 yard. It's 2 or 3 or 4. And I just hate every time I see Dameon Pierce on the field. I know my team's in 2nd and long, 3rd and long. What value do you think he has? Because I don't see nothing higher than a 7th, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat with you. I will say the only caveat I have to Cam Akers, Buddy's got to stay healthy.
That's it.
That's really the biggest one. If you're going to trade Pierce and you're going to throw the confidence in Cam Akers to be your running back too, I ain't got no problem with it, but he's got to stay healthy, because we all know Joe Mixon has got a lot of tread on the tires. All right. Yes, you also drafted Jawar Jordan. Still something to left to be desired. 6th-round rookie running back. It's I don't know what you're going to get out of him. Dario Bugawale, you didn't get much production from him last year. I don't expect much from him again this year unless your kicker goes down. But regardless, Cam Akers got to stay healthy. If he's going to be RB2, that is the biggest thing I'm going to say with Cam Akers. You better stay healthy, man.
Let's talk about another player who we love. That's John Mechie. John Mechie, his stock has been falling. Now, it was rising right before training camp, right? We heard a lot of great things from the coaching staff. We heard CJ Stroud say he runs some of the best routes he's ever seen. And hardly at practice, we see John Mechie just look like a guy who was a second-round pick. But as soon as we get into the games, John Mechie is nowhere to be found. Now, the argument the first night was, well, they didn't look his way. He only had 2 targets. He dropped one of them. The other one went for 4 yards. We were expecting John Mechie to have an impact that game. It wasn't him. It was Xavier Hutchinson. Then week 2, all right, let's follow it up. Come on, John Mechie. Now we're putting expectations on you. It wasn't him. It was veteran wide receiver Robert Woods. John Mechie, to me, man, it would not surprise me whatsoever if he does not make this 53-man roster. And I know that's a hot take because obviously the team loves him, but we're trying to get to a Super Bowl here, man. And we haven't even seen Noah Brown. And I think Ben Skoranek brings a lot to the team more than just wide receiver. It's going to be real interesting to see how this wide receiving core plays out, once we get to cutting time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great point on John Mechie. It's unfortunate. I think ultimately John Mechie just might be a practice guy.
The star gene.
He might be a practice merchant because I remember 2 months ago, media members were raving about John Mechie's quickness is back, the change of direction, the route running looks fantastic, and I was hyped. I was excited to see what John Mechie could do for this team this year. But, you can only do so much in practice. You got to prove it on the regular season in regular games. I'm not going to put a lot of stock into a Hall of Fame game. He was only had 2 targets, 1 catch. I don't really care. That didn't do much for me. But the Pittsburgh game, he's kind of invisible again. And now it's starting to rear its ugly head that maybe John Mechie just isn't quite going to work out here in Houston. And it's unfortunate because I like John Mechie. I love his story,
We all do,
but I think all of us have said this, the story can be as fantastic as possible. But ultimately, again, this is a business and it is about production. And Xavier Hutchinson showed out in the Hall of Fame game. Robert Woods, who's a veteran, been there, done that, showed out in the Pittsburgh game. Robert Woods actually has been showing out in training camp, all of training camp. Robert Woods has looked really good. He does not want to get cut. He wants to get paid that money. He's got his going his way, And then you mentioned Ben Skoranek. There's a versatility aspect when it comes to him. Not only can he play wide receiver, but you can line him up at fullback as well. He did it with the LA Rams. Rams have a similar offensive scheme as the Houston Texans. Nothing all verbatim, but there is some similarities there. You wonder if Bobby Slowick, grabs anything from the Rams offense and implements it here for a Skoranek. But you got 2 guys there, Hutch, Skoranek. You already know your core 3. After that, it's going to be Noah Brown. So now John Mechie's fighting for his life for a wide receiver 5 and a wide receiver 6 spot. And I haven't even mentioned Steven Sims, who is a very viable, not wide receiver, but a kick returner. And how much do they value him? We saw him kick return against the Baltimore Ravens playoff game last year. He's been taking reps with the ones and special teams for the kickoff return team. And he's done a really good job of it. That's the only place where I can see if Dameon Pierce does well enough for some damn reason, Dameon Pierce can run a kickoff pretty darn good. If that's his only niche, it feels like, with this team when as we continue to talk about Damian Pierce. But John Mechie, man, I'm not quite sure where he fits on the team, but you don't have to cut him yet. Still
Mm.
got some time to show, and he still got some time to prove maybe he still got something left for you.
Yeah, no, there's 2 preseason games left. One this Saturday against the New York Giants. Harley, are you gonna be there?
For the
You,
Giants game,
are you gonna come tailgate on Saturday?
you know what? I'm thinking yes. I think I might
Mm,
come. I think I
mm,
might come tailgate with y'all.
you
You know
know,
what? I was like, let me. I've never tailgated for a preseason game. It
yep,
feels silly, but you
does
know
it?
what? Turn the brain off for a little bit and
Let's
let's
do it.
just go out there and have a little fun. It's a preseason game. Let's go see the Houston Texans demolish the Giants first team.
Let it be our celebration of the off season of training camp, because me and
Sure.
Harley, we've been at every single training camp. We got soaked the entire
Oh man.
first week, and now we are just in the blistering sun to bring you daily Houston Texans content. We have a couple of places to be at, Harley, so it's not like there's not going to be people tailgating. There's, the freaks are going to be out there. We just got to show up. But we'll be there Saturday to have a fantastic time. Shout out to the Horns Up Tailgaters. It's going to definitely be a scene. What did you think, Harley, about the first 2 offensive drives from the Houston Texans starters? To me, it just reassured that CJ Stroud is that dude. Like I mentioned, the offense looked exactly the same as last year. It was successful because of number 7. And here's the thing, we didn't even get to see Stephon Diggs catch a ball. And I think if it happens on Saturday, that stadium is going to explode. There is a lot of hype surrounding CJ Stroud and Stephon Diggs. Lord forbid there's a touchdown on Saturday between those two. It will be a big moment. If that Tank Dell touchdown would have happened here in the H, the crowd would have erupted. But dude, they looked good. This receiving core looks dangerous. And what did you also think about the little sideline altercation, the overreactions from the Stephon Diggs and CJ Stroud heated argument?
Yeah, I'll start with that. That was ridiculous. I don't know what people,
Embarrassing.
you're trying to pull something out of nothing, man. It ain't nothing. Stephon Diggs went over there. They weren't even arguing. They were just talking. Hell, we don't even know what they were talking about to play. Shoot, they could have been talking about what they were gonna get for lunch afterwards. I mean, dinner or whatever. Like, come on, man. That don't mean nothing to me. That ain't nothing. It's just a bunch of malarkey. So I'm gonna just dismiss that. That was just a bunch of noise. But man, it was the first 2 drives. Obviously, you had a 3 and out, but second drive, man, Houston Texans, hey, take advantage of a short field, and they did just that. And welcome back, number 3. Welcome back, Tank Dell, to the H. I mean, my goodness, get yourself a little 34, 37-yard touchdown from CJ Stroud, like they never left. It was absolutely fun. Watching it on my phone because I knew the offense was back out there. So I was like, you know what? I gotta watch this. I gotta watch this drive on my phone real quick. Getting excited and trying not to get too loud at the wedding was absolutely fun. So it was a lot of fun actually, and it was great to see. And it just seems like it's a powder keg ready to explode.
Mm.
Like any play from the offense. And it's like the fans are like, oh man, I can't wait for the regular season. Oh, I cannot wait to see, freaking I cannot wait to see, Stephon Diggs do his thing and Tank Dell and Nico Collins. Everyone's so excited from this offseason. So, you mentioned that stadium erupting. It is a matter of time. I feel like it is in, foregone conclusion at this point that Stephon Diggs gets a touchdown in Houston against the Giants, and the crowd is gonna go nuts. And Stephon Diggs, he is a hype man. That
He is.
guy, he is very much gladiator in the pit. Are you not entertained?
Dude, I
That
cannot wait.
man, I mean, he's definitely a hype man. We saw it. I mean, we saw it at training camp, right? He was there, caught the touchdown pass against Kamari Lassiter in the red zone, and gets hyped, goes like this to the fans, throwing his arms up, going all the way right in front of us. It was a lot of fun seeing that. So yeah, he's loving H-Town right now, and the Texans are loving him, and especially CJ Stroud.
So the game's on Saturday. It's not on Sunday. Let me double check to make sure I don't show
I
up
thought I said,
on.
did I say Saturday? I don't
No,
know.
it's Saturday. It's Saturday. Yeah, game's on Saturday, boys. Harley, I mean, you hit it right on the head. I think this offense is gonna hit the ground running, and I think it's gonna start with really Stephon Diggs just having a big moment on Saturday, like you said. Dude, when he did that and ran across, the fans and was hyping everyone up, like, dude, it felt like we were ready to go to war right after that. And what happened? Like, the energy shot up to a freaking 10, and it made the players go at it even more. And it's like every practice, there's a moment where Stephon Diggs is doing something energetic, right? When they were in the rain and the offense wasn't working, right? What do we see Stephon Diggs say? Come on, let's pick this shit up. Let's pick it up right now. He has been a leader ever since he's got here, man. The false narratives are absolutely hilarious when I see them. I just cannot wait for him to ball out. We also got to see not the emergence, but the appearance of Danielle Hunter. And man, $48 million, 2 years, fully guaranteed. Danielle Hunter is a freak of nature. God did not make man equal. Now, this was him without Will Anderson Jr. on the other side. 2 pressures, 1 sack, almost had a sack on the first play of the game. Danielle Hunter is everything as advertised, Harley.
Oh, for sure, man. That dude, I mean, straight up, he's just a dude. Freaking huge paws, like, hell no paws. Like, that dude is just freaking massive. He's got biceps on biceps. That dude is intimidating. Like, for real. Straight up. I posted a clip today. Yeah, today on Twitter with Lane Johnson, Eagles offensive lineman, and Jordan Mailata. They were talking with Chris Long's podcast, the Greenlight podcast. And he had mentioned about Danielle Hunter, and they were like, he's a werewolf in the swamp.
Oh, I saw that.
Crazy, like a crazy description. They were like, that dude, Jordan Mailata said, man, his motor never stops. He just keeps going. He's insanely strong. Like, I mean, he had 16 and a half sacks last year. That's what you're bringing to Houston. He is showing his worth already in the preseason. They could bubble wrap him until week 1. I'm happy. Like, I don't need to see much more from Danielle Hunter. They could bubble wrap him and call it a day. I could see him and Waj on week 1 and having them feast against the Indianapolis Colts when the Houston Texans storm into Lucas Oil Stadium and take over and drop a fat W in Lucas Oil Stadium. I can't wait for all of that magic to happen in the Stroud house.
Danielle Hunter has a prop on BetUS for Defensive Player of the Year. Go ahead, check it out. That's who is sponsoring this episode. 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. This is our Colts. This is our team. Shout out to my dude, and shout out to my niece JJ. She has school today, man. First time. Harley, when I look at this defensive side of the ball, one player who I am excited for, who I have yet to see, is Kamari Lassiter. And the hype around him, I don't know about you, to me, it's at like an 8 or a 9. I think you had reposted or posted that clip of D'Amico Ryans hyping up Kamari Lassiter. And dude, we didn't hear that last year. We didn't hear that, about any of these young players. D'Amico Ryans loves him some Kamari. I think he's your starting cornerback week 2 against Indianapolis. We just need to see him soon, man. Do you think we see him on Saturday? He was out there today against Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, he was out there today. He was out there yesterday as well, too. Ooh. So that's a really good sign. Definitely, I think we're seeing Kamari Lassiter against the Giants. How about
Take
a little
one back.
Man, I mean,
crib.
I would love it. I would love it. Kamari Lassiter's hype is unreal right now. A guy that was complained a lot when drafted here to Houston, definitely because of his 40 time. People really, expanded on that 40 time so much. And I'm more of the, let's wait it out. I'm not gonna judge anybody just because we drafted him, unless it's like Ross Blacklock or some shit like that. Like some garbage piece of
Respect
crap.
Ross Black.
Some garbage piece of crap you drafted in the second round before Jonathan Taylor and amongst many others you could have drafted. I'm not hurt by that whatsoever. Yes, I am. The Houston Texans, though, with Kamari Lassiter, I dropped that clip with D'Amico Ryans, I think it was maybe about a month ago now.
Mhm.
And just hearing him talk about it, I was like, oh, okay. Kamari Lassiter's cornerback too. Like, there's no more competition. There's just no more. Kamari Lassiter has taken that cornerback 2 competition by the horns. The coaches are by his side. They're absolutely in love with the dude. They love everything about him. He does everything well. He just never stops working. And that's what you notice. Stephon Diggs in that clip had a touchdown on Kamari. Or I don't know if it was Diggs or Nico Collins. I could be wrong. It was one of them two. It was a top receiver. It was one of them two. And they had a touchdown on Lassiter. But before they landed, Lassiter pokes the ball out. Or actually, they were stretching for the pylon. And Lassiter pokes the ball out and creates a fumble for a touchback. That is what you want to see. That got D'Amico Ryan type. Hell, then that gets me hype. My coach hype, I'm hype. We don't get coaches like this at all. We've never had a coach like this ever in our history. It is fantastic to see the emotion come out of D'Amico Ryans, for him to get excited, because I'm excited at home. He's excited on the field. Kamari Lassiter is a guy that definitely wears the emotions on the sleeve. And sure, did he have a great, camp against Stephon Diggs today? Absolutely not. Diggs pretty much ate his lunch today, but that's how you learn, man. That's how you get better. How do they say iron sharpens iron? That's the series the Texans are doing. Like, you want to get you want to get better. How did Ric Flair say? You want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And so that's exactly what Kamari Lassiter's doing. He's going up against. They just threw him in the fire. And let's see what happens. And damn it, it's turned out to be really good.
So I'm seeing some reports here from Jeremy Fowler, ESPN. Apparently, the Texans were heavily interested in Matt Judon before he was traded. Could you imagine, Harley, Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson Jr., and Matt Judon on the same defensive line?
That makes sense, considering Matt Judon's a former Patriot. Nick Caserio was there. I believe drafted Matt Judon with the New England Patriots. There's definitely history there. And he's coming to a contender. So that would have been pretty cool. I'm not like, oh man, but I'm pretty cool with it, man. I'm happy with Waj. I'm happy with Danielle Hunter. We're gonna have Danico Autry later, so it is what it is. I'm pretty okay with it. Sure. I mean, who doesn't want extra? Like, who doesn't want extra? I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with getting extra. Like, come on, man. Like, somebody gives you some cherry pie or pecan pie. They throw the scoop of ice cream on top, and they're like, hey, you want some whipped cream on it? And you're like, no, not really. But they're giving it to you for free. Okay, why not? Matthew Judon would have been all right, but it's not no make or break. But man, that sounds scary.
I just like that it shows that the Houston Texans are still actively looking to bring in talent, which takes me to my next, question. We've heard a lot of chatter about free agent safety Justin Simmons. Sources, sources, not sources, battle, not battle. Apparently there was a contract, there wasn't a contract. Justin Simmons ended up meeting with the Saints, meeting with the Falcons. Where do you think he ends up landing? Because I felt like if the Houston Texans wanted Justin Simmons, he probably would have been the Houston Texans right now. Maybe they believe in Kalen Bullock that much. And when you look at Kalen Bullock at practice, this dude is absolutely huge. Paws, just 6'2" and long. And I am excited for the future of Kalen Bullock. Had some nice moments in the game on Friday. I'm interested to see where this Justin Simmons, situation plays out.
I mean, why not Atlanta?
They just got Judon.
Atlanta. I mean, they just got Judon. They've already, have been in. I think they've had talks already with Justin Simmons. I don't quite remember, but there was something going on with Atlanta and Justin Simmons already. I mean, a pairing between him and Jesse Bates sounds like a really good safety duo. Sure, should the Houston Texans should they have pursued after a Justin Simmons? I wouldn't have minded it, but I wouldn't have minded it when it was a few weeks back. And after watching a little bit more training camp, being there at training camp, and watching at least 2 games, I'm going, man, you know what? I don't really need no Justin Simmons. I am very confident in a growing confidence in Kalen Bullock. I mean, from the get-go, look, I wasn't like, oh, this is, maybe this is the guy. I was like, we'll see. Tackling is a big issue. It hasn't been that big of an issue in these 2 games I've seen from him. And if that is shored up from Kalen Bullock, the Houston Texans they're going to be arrogant, man. They're going to be cocky. They're going to be like, you know what? We got a badass front 7. Our guys are going to get to the quarterback. We're going to pressure them as much as we can. And we dare y'all to throw it deep. And Kalen Bullock, he's going to play to his strengths. And that's playing deep, high center field safety. And you want to throw it deep on a back foot when Waj and Daniel Hunter is all in the pocket, all in your face, then go for it. Kalen Bullock is going to do his thing and A, either deflect it or B, get that interception. We saw it many times at USC.
Yeah, no, so I actually am okay with not bringing in Justin Simmons. And here's the thing, the teams he's talked to, can you really say those guys are contenders? If Justin Simmons wants to go ahead and get the bag, that is absolutely fine. Go out there and get that. We got Super Bowl aspirations here. Harley, before I let you go, before we end this, let's talk about our new punter. Because Tommy Townsend is a demon, and now I am actually looking forward to seeing him punt the football whenever his opportunity does come, because of course I want to see points on the board. But he's now a weapon. And he also brings a fire to the special teams, right? Catch the ball, bitch. That's what he told, the opposing Pittsburgh Steeler. And I like Tommy Townsend. I like what he brings, man. This is an all-pro punter, Hardy. Someone who's been in the playoffs, been in the Super Bowl multiple times. I'm excited that he's a Houston Texan.
Yeah, man. I am excited too. Shoot, kind of lost my train of thought there. We were talking about Tommy Townsend. Tommy Rockets. That's what I was going to get to. I was getting to a nickname there, and I forgot about it. Tommy Rockets, man. I mean, my goodness. We saw, the first open training camp? That guy all of a sudden freaking, what was the hang time? I think it was like
5.1.
Yeah, 5.14. That's what it was. We were like, oh, my goodness. This dude is insane. And we were like, man, how much better can you get from Cameron Johnson? And then Tommy Townsend goes out there and says, I'm much better. And I was like, okay, all right. I see what they did here. They went out and got themselves an all-pro punter. That man should definitely have some beef with Madden, because there is no way Tommy Townsend should be under an 84 in Madden. I think he definitely got a little beef with the Madden ratings there. But, it's a punter. I don't want to see much of him, because this offense is going to be doing their thing. This offense is going to be going up and down the field. This offense is going to be dominating teams, man. That's the one big thing. That's the big focus. Who the hell is going to stop this offense? Who in the hell is going to stop this offense? I know the schedule's tough. I get it. But, man.
What?
Who is stopping this trio of wide receivers?
What?
Who's stopping Joe Mixon running all over the place?
What?
Who's stopping Joe Mixon from being a receiver?
What?
Who's stopping the Dalton Schultz little Brevin Jordan combo that you got with rookie K Stover?
Let me know.
Who is stopping Stephon Diggs running a 20-yard little intermediate route and just slicing and dicing ankles.
Harley, it's only the preseason. We shouldn't care.
We should not care. But damn it, ladies and gentlemen,
What?
I'm tired of being humble, bro.
What's in the chat? Come on!
I'm tired of being fucking humble. Like,
Say it, bro. I've been waiting for
I'm-
this. Come
I'm
on.
tired of it. Like, for real, man.
Let me know.
They-
Come on. I see
They
the
told
comments.
They told us Texans fans that we need to shut the fuck up.
Oh,
I mean, you remember that shit.
I
They
do.
told us Texans fans that we need to shut the fuck up. All
Mm.
right, man. All right, man. I ain't shutting the hell up about nothing. I'm tired of being humble. But like, what do we gotta be humble about? I get it. You know, we haven't done this, we haven't done that, we haven't done this, we haven't done that. Man, who's stopping Nico Collins and Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs? Like, who is stopping that? Who? And you know, I know on paper this feels sweet, but damn it, we've been seeing a little bit of this on the field. Who is stop? Today was one of the best days ever for training camp, according to media members. I mean, we got to see Stephon Diggs have like 1,000,000 yards today and like 2-3 touchdowns, a bunch of catches. I mean, I don't know,
I
man.
get what you're saying, Harley, because you know, I'll be posting these shorts on Instagram and TikTok, and I'll be seeing people say, "Hey, be humble. Hey, we haven't been here before. Hey, you're sounding like Cowboys fans." Ladies and gentlemen, it's okay to root for your team.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: it's not like this team came off of a 2-14 season and we have a new head coach. We have a new
Exactly.
quarterback. No, you saw a team win 10 games, go to the playoffs, have the offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, finalists for head coach of the year. And you're telling me we should not be excited about that? You're telling me we should not be excited about an offseason where we brought in a player who had 16 and a half sacks? A wide receiver that's been an all-pro, 1,000 yards in the past 5 years.
Come on,
But
man.
another team could go off and do this. Here's the thing. They're scared of what could potentially happen. Right now, they're comfortable. They're not used to seeing the Houston Texans at the top. They've never have. And now that opportunity might come. And man, I am not going to shut up. We're going to be the first wave of Houston Texans fans, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to know that as this team breaks history, you are going to be a part of it. Let them know how dangerous this team is going to be. Don't be afraid whatsoever, because I remember when I used to get made fun of for wearing this. Now I go to the mall. I go to the club. I see a Houston Texan fitted out there. I see a CJ Stroud jersey out there. I still see a little 99. Throw some love to JJ Watt out there. The love for football
I know you
is
hating on
back
that
in
too.
the city of Houston. And Harley said it a couple of years ago, and it's stuck with me ever since. The Astros could go on and win as many World Series as they want to. But if the Houston Texans win a Super Bowl,
Just
the
one.
city will explode. And guys, you do not want to be the person that was scared the entire time, because I don't want to use the P word, because I know kids watch this show. I don't want to be scared. I don't want to say, yeah, I was excited, but, I can't pull up any tweets of me saying we're going to the Super Bowl. I can't pull up, the facts of me talking big stuff. Look, the thing about it is, bro, is people hate when they're wrong and they're being showed they're wrong. I have no problem being wrong. I've been doing this for 5 years. I'm wrong 80% of the time.
Fuck yeah, me too.
We're talking football here, ladies and gentlemen. And sometimes you have to stand on what you say, stand on what you believe. Because when that moment happens, Harley, when CJ Stroud is holding up that Lombardi trophy, all your emotions for this team will come out. You're going to scream. You're going to cry. You're really not going to know what the hell to do other than just say, we are Super Bowl champs. Now, we got to get there first, guys. But don't be afraid, man. Don't be pussy. Let's go out
Hey,
there and get it,
okay.
and let's get it together.
Man, I'm excited, bro. I ain't trying to be no little scared kitty cat, man. Like we ain't got no cats in this group chat, man. We ain't got no cats in this comment section right now. We got some dogs in this comment
That's some
section, man.
swarmers,
I
man.
mean, come on, man. I don't want to be. I ain't trying to be humble. Like,
Can we get NRG loud on Saturday?
Oh man, I would love it. But it's a preseason game. I don't blame them.
But just imagine.
It's a preseason game. I don't blame them. I ain't gonna lie. Like sometimes, I'll be watching the preseason game. Is the 2 minutes left in the third quarter. I'm like, man, why am I still watching?
All right. Let me.
Yeah,
Happy
like,
birthday, Cullen Bear. Hope you have a real blessed
happy
one.
birthday,
Happy
Colin.
birthday. We're here. Like Ralph said, we're here and we're ready to take over. Harley, before we go, let the fans know where they can find your latest work. You are so close to 10K subscribers, man. I am so proud of you and I hope you get there soon.
Yeah, what's going on, man? Appreciate every single one of y'all that has liked, commented, subscribed. You can find me at the lead _HOU anywhere on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and especially YouTube. Like he said earlier, I'm on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Almost there, trying to get there before week 1 of the regular season. We are under 800 subscribers away. So, make sure I can get there. It is all thanks to y'all. I appreciate every single one of y'all that has been watching me from the beginning. There's plenty of people that has been watching this from the get-go, and it is a lot of fun. And I can't wait. I got a lot in store for the channel. A lot of stuff that I'm going to be doing, a lot of stuff that I'm going to be unveiling. And it's a lot of fun, man. It's Houston Texans football. I do some Astros, I do some Rockets every once in a while. But man, it's just fun talking some football, having a little fun with the boys and the girls, and doing our thing, and man, trash talking, enjoying life, and enjoying these Houston Texans make a deep playoff run this year, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know where you can find me. Just type in 713 Houston Sportscast on YouTube. We'll be there on Saturday. Do us a favor. Have a real blessed rest of your night. This episode was brought to you and powered by BetUS. Take advantage of their 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000.